Buttery, fragrant, and melt in your mouth. These orange cardamom shortbread cookies are so easy to make with fresh citrus zest and a hint of warm spice. They are simple, elegant, and perfect for your next coffee break. Alright, let's bake. These are the ingredients you will need, or you can find the full recipe linked in the description box below. First, zest 2 oranges. I'm using 2 medium-sized ones here. The amount of zest is just right for my taste, but feel free to use larger oranges if you would like a stronger citrus flavor. Then rub the zest into the sugar to release the natural oils. This step really helps to intensify the orange flavor, so don't skip it. About 1 to 2 minutes is perfect. You will really start to smell that fresh citrus aroma coming through. It's so good. Next, add the orange-infused sugar to the butter and beat on medium speed until smooth and well combined. Before adding the remaining ingredients, scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl to ensure everything mixes evenly. As you can see, the butter mixture is smooth, creamy, and slightly lighter in color. For the dry ingredients, sieve in the flour, the ground cardamon along with the salt. If you are grinding your own cardamon from the pods, you will need around 15 to 16 pods. Sifting helps remove any lumps and ensures the cardamon is evenly distributed throughout the dough. Mix on medium speed until just combined. You may find the dough looks quite crumbly at first, but it will come together as you continue mixing. Now stop the mixer and then scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl with a spatula and finish mixing by hand until the dough comes together nicely. This makes sure nothing is left behind and all the ingredients are nicely incorporated. Just like this. To keep the dough from sticking and to maintain its texture, sandwich it between 2 sheets of parchment paper before rolling. This way, you won't need to add any extra flour. I like to work with half of the dough at a time. It's much easier to handle and helps you roll it out more evenly. Roll the dough to about 6 mm thick. That's my personal preference, but you can go slightly thinner or thicker. Just keep in mind that the baking time will change. Transfer the rolled dough onto a flat baking tray, making sure it stays nice and even. Then repeat the same process with the remaining dough. Chill the dough for 30 to 60 minutes or until it feels firm to the touch. Towards the end of the chilling time, preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius and line the baking sheets with parchment paper. Now the dough has been chilled for almost an hour and it should feel firm to the touch. For this project, I'm using a 50 mm round cookie cutter, but you can use whatever cutter you have on hand. Cut out as many cookies as you can, placing them close together to minimize any leftover dough. The firm dough makes it easier to handle, so you can cut and transfer the cookies without losing their shape. There's no need to add any extra flour at any stage. The firmness of the dough makes it really easy to work with. Once you have cut out all the cookies, remove the excess dough and carefully transfer each one onto your lined baking sheet using an offset spatula. Place the cookies about an inch apart. They won't spread much in the oven, so this spacing works perfectly. Gather any remaining dough and roll it out again between parchment paper. If it starts to soften, just pop it back into the fridge until firm again. A firm dough makes cutting and transferring the cookies much easier and more manageable. This recipe makes about 38 cookies using this cutter. Now bake in the preheated oven for 12 to 15 minutes or until the edges are lightly golden. For your reference, mine took 14 minutes. Look at them, lightly golden around the edges. They smell absolutely incredible, rich and buttery with a lovely orange aroma and a hint of spice. Let the cookies sit on the baking sheet for about 5 minutes before carefully transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely. The cookies are already amazing, but let's make them a little more luxurious. I'm going to dip them in chocolate. You know, orange and chocolate are a match made in heaven. Alright, let's do it. To make a chocolate dip that won't melt and stays crisp, we need to temper the chocolate. Don't worry, it's actually very easy. First, chop the total 200 grams of chocolate into small pieces. The smaller the pieces, the easier they are to melt. Next, divide the chocolate into 2 portions, 150 grams, 3/4, and 50 grams, 1/4. Place the larger portion, 150 grams, into a heat-proof bowl. We are going to melt the chocolate using a microwave. Heat it in 20-second bursts, stirring well after each round. Repeat until the chocolate is completely melted. Then add the remaining quarter of unmelted chocolate into the melted chocolate and keep stirring until everything is fully melted. This is called the seeding method. It's the simplest way to temper chocolate by adding some unmelted pieces to the melted chocolate to help it set with a nice snap and shine. Look at that shine. It's done. See, it's really not difficult at all. Transfer the tempered chocolate into a deep, wide-mouthed jug. This makes it easier to dip the cookies. Once the cookies are completely cooled, place them on a sheet of parchment paper. This will catch any drips and make cleanup super easy. Dip each cookie halfway into the chocolate, then gently wipe off the excess. Place the cookies onto the parchment paper and let them set at room temperature. They should firm up within 30 to 60 minutes. Continue dipping as many cookies as you like, or of course, you can enjoy them as they are, perfectly buttery, fragrant, and lightly spiced with orange and cardamom. They make a wonderful treat with a cup of tea or coffee. And that chocolate dip, rich, glossy, and slightly crisp once set, it takes these cookies to the next level, making every bite feel extra luxurious and irresistible. I'm so excited for you to try this recipe. Click the link in the description box for the full recipe, along with my tips for perfectly rolled dough and a flawless chocolate dip. If you have got any questions, leave them in the comments. I would love to hear from you and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed this video or know someone who would love these cookies, don't forget to like and share, and subscribe to my channel so we can keep baking together and you will be the first to see all my new recipes. Love these cookies? You will definitely want to check out this one too. Click on the screen to watch, and I will see you there. Bye for now.